تمام تمام.
خلاص تمام.
خلاص.
Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina wa Habibina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah ta'ala, welcome to everybody to lesson 2. Inshallah, looking at some aspects of Islamic history, trying to understand the contribution of Islam to Europe and to the Western world. Okay, so I want to begin today by doing a recap. I want to ask you some questions. So the first question, what is globalization? Is anybody here to answer this question? What is globalization?
Connected to the world, all the world.
Excellent. So globalization is an idea, it's a concept or an idea that all of the world is one and connected together. So we said last time that the first human being in history to think globally was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he was sent to the entire world. So he came with a global vision. Excellent, very good. Okay, the next question then, what does the Quran say about knowledge? What does the Quran tell us about ilm or about knowledge? Anybody, what does the Quran tell us about knowledge? So what does the Quran say about ilm, about learning knowledge? Anybody? MashaAllah, very good. Yeah, so the Quran has many statements. It says, for example, all those who know equal to those who don't know. In other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in the Quran that the one who has knowledge is much, much greater than the one who has no knowledge. Yeah, so it tells us that also the Quran constantly tells us, it tells us to seek knowledge. Yeah, and there's the dua in the Quran, Rabbi zidni ilma, oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Yeah, the Quran is telling us that we should seek knowledge and we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us knowledge. Okay, next question then. Can somebody tell me some of the key areas developed by the Muslims during the Golden Age? In other words, what did the Muslims do during the Golden Age? What discoveries did they make? What inventions or what discoveries did the Muslims make in the Golden Age? What things did they do?
Open the Andalus.
Sorry?
Andalus. Open the Andalus. Spain.
Oh yeah, Andalus, yes. So they opened Andalus, but what about inventions, things that they made, things that they gave to the world? What contributions did they make to Europe and to the world? Medicine, very good, excellent. Yeah, yourself? Paper, very good, excellent. Paper was one of the most important ones. The Muslims introduced paper into Europe, and as a result, knowledge spread in Europe. Yeah, medicine as well. The hospital, the first hospital in the world, where was it? Where was the first hospital in the world? Anyone tell me? Yeah. Where was it? What city was it?
Iraq.
Yes, Baghdad in Iraq. Very, very. This was the first hospital in the world. Excellent. They also established, as we see today, universities. Yeah, so the Muslims, the oldest university in the world is where? Where is the oldest university in the world? Anyone remember? Yeah, go on, you at the back here.
Al-Azhar in Misr, in Egypt.
Al-Azhar, there's one older than that. Yeah?
Qarawiyyin in Iran.
That's it, in Morocco. Yeah, the Qarawiyyin in Morocco is the oldest university in the world, and the universities that the Muslims created were copied by Oxford, by Cambridge, by Harvard. All the universities now we see in England, in France, in Germany, in America, all of them were copied exactly from the Islamic universities. Yeah? Even the clothes that when they have the graduation, how do you say graduation in Arabic? The kharaj, graduation. When they have the graduation, what do they wear? They wear these long robes, like a thobe. And they have a hat, and on the hat they have a little string, a little tassel. Why did he have that string? Because when the Muslim student would graduate, the alim would remind him that Allah has you by the nasiyah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has you by the fall by the nasiyah. So you should have taqwa. You should have fear when you teach people. So now in the universities in England and America, they have the same thing, but they don't know why. They just have the thing, they don't know why. Yeah, but when you look at the history, it goes back to this. Yeah, so this shows you the close connection. Okay. What were some of the key people? Can anyone tell me the names of some of the most important Muslim inventors, some of the most important Muslim scientists, some of the most important Muslim philosophers? Who were they? Anybody? What were the names? Yeah, Bismillah. Zahrawi. Yes, who was Zahrawi?
Who was the founder of the surgery tools.
Fantastic, mashallah, very good. He's called the father of modern surgery. And like was mentioned, many of the tools that they use for surgery, some say 80%, 85% of the tools are from Zahrawi. Very, very good, excellent. Yeah, go on, you got the back. Ibn Haytham, mashallah. Who was Ibn Haytham? Excellent, mashallah. So Ibn Haytham is known for two things. One is he's the founder of science, what we call the scientific method, the way in which we do science. We do experiments, we test things, we check them, like this. All of this is what Ibn Haytham. Also, number two, he is known for optics, for the human eye, for how he discovered how we see. And he also was responsible for the camera, for developing the camera. Okay, very good. The last question, what role did new technology play? Sorry, can someone call Ahmed Muhammad? That's not nice. Yeah. So, what role did new technology play? So, for example, how did paper help to change knowledge in Europe? We talked about this. How did paper help to change knowledge in Europe? Anybody? So, when the Muslims introduced paper into Europe, what happened? When the Muslims introduced paper into Europe, what happened? Anybody?
Science has been spread in the...
Fantastic. So, yeah, the science and knowledge in general spread, mashallah. Because if you don't have paper, you can't spread knowledge out. It's only going to be with a few people. Yeah. So remember we said that all of the books in Europe, there used to be just one house in the Muslim world had more books than all of Europe. Yeah, just one house in Spain. Yeah. I'm sure what's going on with the PowerPoint, you know. Okay, inshallah. Okay. Today we're going to learn about education. So everybody, if you turn to your course packs, to lesson 2 education, yeah? Okay, the first question, what is education? You can see in the book, but I want you to think in your own mind. Anybody here, what is education?
Education is like the process of learning and teaching.
Good, the process of learning and teaching, good, mashallah. Yeah?
The process of getting knowledge, then it leads to change.
Mashallah, very good, yeah? So it's the process of gaining knowledge, which then leads to change. Excellent, mashallah, yeah? So it's the process of gaining knowledge, which then leads to some type of change, some type of transformation, yeah? Some type of impact on the human being. Very good, mashallah. No problem. Okay. Yeah? Okay. So here's the education, the process of receiving information at school university. Okay. So when we think about education, where do people learn? They learn in a school or they learn in a university. Yeah, these are the two main places of education. Now there's another meaning for education, an enlightening experience. So education is defined as an enlightening experience. What does that mean? Anybody? What's an enlightening experience? Anybody? Want to have a guess? What do we mean by an enlightening experience? Yeah,
That lies to the right.
yeah, mashallah. Enlightening experience is something like enlightened. Yeah, Bismillah, sorry, any other hello? Same, yeah. Like we say munawwar in Arabic. Munawwar is something that illuminates the mind. Yeah. So when you learn knowledge, it's like your mind becomes full of nur, of light. Yeah. This is the idea. This is the idea that your mind becomes illuminated through learning.
The process that went from dark.
Excellent, mashallah. The process that removes darkness. Very good. Yeah. Or removes darknesses. Exactly. Yeah, the process of removing, because ignorance is darkness. Ignorance is it's the opposite of knowledge. Well, jahal in Arabic. So ignorance is the opposite. So education is an enlightening experience that illuminates the heart. MashaAllah. Okay, so now if you look at the word education, I'm going to explain something here. In the English language, and I'll just have to write this on the board. The English language comes from two languages. Okay. So, the English language originates, yeah? The English language comes from two languages, Latin and German. Yeah? Do you understand? Yeah? يعني الإنجليزي نشأت. Yeah? Where did English come from? What's the asl of English? Two languages, Latin and German. Yeah? Latin and German. Now,
The source.
the source, Ahsan, the source, yes. The source of English is Latin and German, mashallah. Now, the long words in English, you know the long words, they will come from Latin. The short words come from German. Fahimtum, yes? So the longer words, the more complicated words, yes, they come from Latin. The shorter words come from German. So if you look at the word education, it comes from Latin. Latin is a very old language. Latin is the source of French. It's the source of Italian. It's the source of Spanish. It's the source of many, many languages, Latin. It's the old language. It was the language of Europe for centuries. And the Europeans, they translated from Arabic to Latin. So they took the knowledge of the Muslims in Arabic and they translated it into Latin. And then they used it in Latin. Yeah? Okay, so the word for education is from a Latin word which is educare. نعم فهمتم أصل هذا المفرد education ما هو أصله? The origin is educare. This educare means, it's a word from Latin. What does it mean? Educare means to bring up what you already know. يعني إخراج ما هو معلوم عندكم. Yeah? So you already have knowledge. إخراج ما هو المعلوم عندكم. This is education. We already know the knowledge. It's inside us. Now we have to bring it out. This is education. Yeah, this is the idea. And this is the same idea that we have like with the fitrah in Islam. That we already know, all of us, alastu bi rabbikum qalu bala shahidna. We already know knowledge. Knowledge is, the greatest knowledge is La ilaha illallah. We already know this knowledge, we have to bring it out of us to remind ourselves. And so they have the same idea, because really the foundation, the asl of English is from Christianity. The religion of Christianity, which now they have abandoned. In Europe now people have left Christianity and they have become mulhidun, most of them. Become atheists. But the history is Christian. You have your hand up? Question?
Some words in English, the source is Arabic.
Yes.
Like hand, like they said,
Yeah.
I understand,
Masha, we're going to learn about this. Excellent. Many words in English from Arabic. As we're going to see, we will talk about this. It's in one of the lessons. I think it's in this book as well. Masha, very good. Yeah. So this is education. So education is about remembering. It's about remembering what we already know. So education is not learning something new. Education is remembering what we already know. Yeah? It's remembering what we already know. This is the understanding that they have of education. Okay. Huh? Yes, refreshing the memory. Or something that's deep within you, you dig it out, you bring it out again. It was already within you, mashallah, very good. Alright, so the question is, when did education begin? What was the beginning of education? Okay, so the first educational experience, I don't know if this is in your books, the first educational experience was what we talked about, which is Alastu bi Rabbikum. The first education that we were taught is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our Lord. This is the beginning of education. Yeah, this is the beginning. So the first lesson, ما هو أول درس لنا? What was the first lesson? The first lesson was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your Lord. This was the first lesson. And this is why if you speak to people who become Muslim, يعني مسلمون الجدد وبعض الناس أسلموا, you talk to people who become Muslim, they will tell you, I already knew this. And they had a haditha, they have an experience in their life that reminds them of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? So for example, their son dies, mata walad walad, something like that. And something sad happens and it reminds them of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they come back to Islam like this. Or maybe they have an accident, a car accident or something like this. Yeah? So the first lesson that we are given is yeah? Okay. And then also the lesson of Sayyidina Adam. No problem. Okay. The next thing now, purpose of education. What does the word purpose mean? Anybody tell me, what does purpose mean? The word purpose. Yeah? Aim, yeah, go on, yeah. Intention. Yeah, intention, yeah, because intention, purpose, objective, these are all very good words, mashallah, excellent. Yeah. So purpose is why are you doing something, like intention, the reason why, yeah. So purpose of education. So what's the purpose of education? The answer is in your books, but ignore your books. What is the purpose? ما هو مقصد التعليم؟
salary, money, jobs, jobs.
Okay, yeah. So many people, the purpose of education is money, that you get a job, etc., etc. For many people, yeah, go on. To seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, that should be the reason. The reason should be to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, absolutely. Very, very good, mashallah. But like mentioned, many people, they have a different purpose. Okay, so let's have a look. What's the purpose that's mentioned? The purpose of education, sorry, go on.
Also to leave the darkness of the ignorance.
Fantastic, very good. The purpose of education can be to leave the darkness of ignorance behind. To leave ignorance behind and to become illuminated. To become somebody who is now a possessor of light. Very, very good. Okay, so there's different aspects here. I don't want to focus too much on this because many of you know this, but we'll explain this in English. The purpose of education is to get taqwa. How do we translate taqwa in English? Can anyone tell me? Yeah?
Tranquility.
Huh?
Tranquility.
Tranquility. That's sakina. That's something different. Tranquility. Good, mashallah. Good, something different. Yeah, go on.
Devotion.
Devotion, yeah, it's related to devotion. That's a good word. Yeah, anybody? Yeah?
To follow the orders of Allah.
Mashallah. Yeah, excellent. That's a very detailed definition. Yeah, good. Yeah, sorry, yourself?
To avoid some sins.
Sorry?
To avoid sins.
To avoid sins. Mashallah, excellent, very good.
Piety.
Huh?
Piety.
Piety, yeah, piety, mashallah, very good. So there's different names. All of you are right. You know, taqwa is a broad concept. It's vastly, isn't it? So all of you are right. But the main meanings of taqwa, we can say piety. Yes, so taqwa is piety. We can say God consciousness. Or we can say avoiding sin. Yeah. These are the three ways. Yeah. So if you look at taqwa, if you look at the word taqwa, and you look at the translations of the Quran, for example, many different words are used, many different words, because it's very difficult to have one word that summarizes it. Yeah.
With God, skills and open your mind. Education of the purpose for education.
So say that again. The purpose of education is to develop your skills and open your mind.
Open your mind.
Fantastic, very good. Yeah, so we can say the purpose of education is to develop skills and to open our mind up to new ideas and new thoughts. Very good. So very good. Okay. So taqwa, so here we go. So taqwa, like was mentioned by the gentleman at the back, taqwa is to protect yourself. Yeah, wiqaya, to protect yourself by fulfilling Allah's commands, by doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you to do. Yeah? And avoiding his prohibitions. What are prohibitions? Anybody? What do we mean by prohibitions? Yeah.
What's forbidden?
MashaAllah, what's forbidden? What we shouldn't do. Anything that's haram, yeah? The prohibitions. Excellent. The taqwa is you protect yourself by doing the right things and staying away from prohibition. So therefore we can say taqwa really is all of Islam together, isn't it? All of Islam can be summarized. Yeah, but summarized by this concept of taqwa. Yeah, so taqwa is to protect yourself from the consequences of prohibitions. This is a definition. Definitions are very important. If you want to understand English, you have to be very good with definitions. Yeah, we have to know exactly what the word means. So definitions are very important. So whenever we define a word, we have to define it clearly and properly. Yeah. Taqwa. Okay, then let's look at the meanings. Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's have a look now a little bit at how did the education of Islam develop? Yeah, so the first thing we're going to say is the school system of education, it began in the masjid. Yeah, so what was the first school? The first school, yeah, go on. Yeah, it was with the Sahaba, and really, like, you have got to when you go to Medina Munawwara, the school was in the masjid. Yeah, so it began in Masjid al-Nabawi. Yeah, so the school system began in the mosque. Now, what happens after that is that there was too much demand. There were too many people that wanted to learn. Yeah, so what did they start doing? They started to create schools. Yeah, so they had these different types of schools. Yeah, they had regular schools, what we call normal schools, where everybody would go. Regular school, this was for the awam, this was for everybody. So everybody would have a basic education. Yeah? Then they would have high schools which are a bit more advanced. Yeah? High schools were people wanted to learn a bit more, like college today. Then you had these schools that specialized in the hadith, in the words of the Prophet ﷺ. And then you had medical schools. What's a medical school? Anybody? What's a medical school? Say that again? Yes, very good. Medical school is like where you are trained up in medicine, where you learn about medicine. Very good, yeah? So the medical school would have had some lessons and also some practicalities. That could be it. It would have had some practical aspects as well. So, okay. Then you have universities. Okay. So the concept, the idea of a university came from the Muslims. What is a university? Anybody tell me, what is a university? If somebody said, what is a university, what would you say? Anybody? What is a university? What do you think? What is a university? Yeah, go on, which the answer?
A university is the place where there are many colleges.
Okay. Yeah, we can maybe say that. Good. Yeah, you at the back.
A place which have different majors to study.
Different what, sorry?
Majors.
Ah, okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe so there's a variety of that. Yeah, go on.
Small universal.
A small what?
Small universal.
A small universe.
Small universal.
What's a universal? I don't understand.
Like bigger.
Okay, okay. Yes, maybe, okay. What are the age of people who go to university? What age are they? How old are people who go to university? What's their age? Yeah?
You can say the university is a big institution where, for example, 24 students, they can go and join them. They can graduate with different degrees.
Good, mashallah, excellent, okay. I'll give you the definition. What do you think, Mr. Bagi? I'll write the definition. So a university is an institute, like a market, an institute of higher learning. An institute of higher learning. Yeah. So a market is an institute of higher learning. Yeah. It's an institute of higher learning. This is what a university is.
Maybe special government.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's like a special. It's a place where you can specialize in knowledge. Yeah, it's a place where you can specialize in knowledge. Yeah. So the idea of a university, yeah, the concept of the idea of a university came from the Muslims. Yeah, the idea that once we finish school, our education doesn't stop. Once we finish school, we carry on learning even after school, and we learn higher things. Okay. Now, the earliest universities in the world were all in the masjid. To this day, the Qara'in, has anyone here visited Morocco? Put your hand up if you've been to the Qara'in. Anyone here visited Morocco? No? Okay. So if you go to the Qara'in, if to this day, the University of Qara'in is also a masjid. They pray Jumu'ah there, they pray the prayers there, but then they also have student accommodation, and then people study still within, just like our Mustafa, to study in the masjid. People will study in the main hall, they'll have different halaqah, different circles of knowledge, different classes. And so this teacher will normally sit on like a kursi, sit on the chair, and then the students will sit around him. Yeah? And this is the same idea. You know what? When you go to Cambridge University or Oxford University, they say the chair of engineering. This is what they call, you know, the Rais, the Mudir, the leader, they call him the chair of engineering, the chair of medicine. Like this, where did they get the chair from? From the Muslims, because the teacher will sit on the kursi. Yeah? So this idea of the chair is actually, they've taken it. That the whole system, really, all of the university system now is exactly the same. They've taken exactly from the Muslims. They didn't even change it a little bit. They just kept it exactly the same. And they moved it across. Yeah? So the early universities. Okay. So these universities, they had open courtyards that were beautifully designed. And I think the connection is a bit loose. No problem. It is not staying. No problem, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so they had open courtyards that were beautifully designed. Mashallah, very good. Alright, and anyone tell me, the universities, they used to look beautiful. Yeah, they had like, all around you would see beautiful things, and they would have gardens and they look beautiful. Why? Why did the universities, why did they design them? Why did they spend so much money, the Muslims spend so much money on making them look beautiful? Why? Why was the environment around them, why was it so nice? Why was it so pleasant? Why did they do this? To what, sorry? Very good, to facilitate the study, yes. To encourage people to learn. If you are learning in a beautiful place around you, your learning will improve. Yeah, your learning will, this is well known. That's why all of the universities in the world now, they're all in beautiful places. I went to a university in England called the University of Nottingham. The University of Nottingham in England. The campus, the place where you study is very, very nice. Beautiful. Yeah, the buildings are amazing, everything is really, really nice. Yeah, so this is important. So this idea, the Muslims were the ones who pioneered this idea. Okay, they appeared all over the world. So these universities were in 100 different cities in the Muslim world. 100 different cities, they all had their own universities. And then from there, they started to appear in Europe, they were appearing in India, in China, all of these different places. They weren't Muslim, but they were learning from the Muslims. Yeah? And they started to appear everywhere. Alright, what did they teach? What did these universities put in your course paper? Can anyone tell me what did they teach? You can read it from the course paper if you want. In the course paper. Oh no, it's not. Actually, yeah, it is. Okay, so can anybody read this? The main 7 subjects. Can anyone read that? Yeah, Bismillah.
The main 7 subjects.
Yeah.
Content, grammar, logic,
Yeah.
development,
Good.
arithmetic,
Good.
geometry,
Good.
music,
And astronomy, very good. Yeah, so there were 7 key subjects that were taught. Grammar, yeah, which we call Nahu. Logic, which is our mantiq. Yeah, mantiq. Rhetoric, which is balagha. Yeah. So these 3 are all what we call the language arts. Okay, now what I want everybody to do here is I want you to write down the meaning of grammar in your own words. What is grammar? Can you write it down in English? Yeah. So write it down. Write it down. Write the meaning of grammar. Yeah. What is grammar? I want you to write it down in English. Thank you. Yeah. So write down what you put. What should be today? Put your hand up. Just let me know. Yeah. So write down the meaning of grammar, and then I will ask you. Inshallah. I want to see how well you can write. Yeah. You've written it? Yeah. Bismillah. What did you write?
the rules of a certain language.
MashaAllah, very good. Yeah, the rules of a particular or a certain language. Very good. MashaAllah ta'ala. And yeah, what?
Grammar is about the rules that help organize and structure the sentence.
Fantastic, yeah, excellent. So grammar is the rules that organize and structure a sentence or sentences. Very, very good, MashaAllah. Fantastic. So that's grammar. Okay, why is grammar important? Why did they study grammar?
To make conversation with people.
To what, sorry?
To make right conversation with people.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, so one of the main reasons of grammar was to be able to make sure that the writing made sense and what they wrote was what made sense. Yeah, go on.
Communicate in a precise way.
Fantastic, very good. To communicate in an appropriate way. Yeah, to communicate in the best possible way. MashaAllah, very, very good. Okay?
You know, anymore is it the noun or verb or the noun?
Very good, yeah. So we can differentiate, we can differentiate, yeah, we can see the difference between like a verb, a noun, a particle like that. Yeah, excellent, very, very good. That's one of the functions of grammar. Anybody? Yeah, go on.
It's different from the man and woman.
Different from what, sorry? Sorry, I never understood what did he say? Different from what?
Is it man and woman? I think he means like masculine and feminine.
Oh, masculine, yes, mashallah. Although we don't have this really in English. Yeah, this in English it doesn't, but yeah, you're right. Arabic, yes, you can tell the difference between a male word and a female word. Yeah, mashallah, very good. These are all reasons. Okay, good. The next one is arithmetic that I want to concentrate on. What is arithmetic? Anybody know what is arithmetic? Okay, sorry. I think you can go off so we can keep it at this. Okay, what is arithmetic? Ahmed Qasim, what's arithmetic? You're not sure? Anybody at all? MashaAllah. Fantastic, very good. So arithmetic is a part of mathematics which involves numbers, like was mentioned, MashaAllah. Adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Yeah, so arithmetic is about numbers. Yeah, so it's a figure. So these are some of the subjects that we talk. All right, inshallah. I don't want to jump with that too much. I want to go on to something else. Now, I want to mention the most famous example of a university, the most famous university in Islam, which is called Bayt al-Hikmah, or the House of Wisdom. Right? The house in Al-Bayt, the House of Wisdom. The House of Wisdom. I don't think it's going to work. That's right. That's true. Yeah. So, no problem. I'll just put it here. Put it here. It will go off, but then it will work. Okay, good. So the House of Wisdom. Yes, Mr. Spencer?
There is a rhetoric. What does it mean by rhetoric? Logic.
Oh, rhetoric, balagha. Balagha, mashallah, good question.
In English, how can we define it?
Balagha, you want, okay, so very good, mashallah. So balagha is the art of beautiful expression. I'll write this on the board. Good question, mashallah, excellent question. So balagha or rhetoric, how do you define rhetoric? Rhetoric is the art of beautiful expression. Husnul bayan, beautiful expression. Yeah. So balagha or rhetoric, in English we say it's the art of beautiful expression. So it's the subject. And it's the subject that teaches us how to speak beautifully and how to write beautifully as well. Yeah?
That's it, that's outspoken good job.
Say that again, sorry?
What if I find the person who's outspoken?
How do you define someone who's well spoken?
Does outspoken do the job?
No, I know outspoken is different. Outspoken is somebody who is controversial. They say things that might cause arguments. Right? This is outspoken, this is different. Well spoken is somebody who speaks beautifully, he speaks well. Yeah? He speaks well. How do we know someone who speaks well? We look at the rules of English, we look at the grammar. Yeah, we look at the rules of English and then we understand this is good speech, this is bad speech. The same with Arabic. We know what is eloquent, what is nice, and what is not nice. We have qawaid, we have rules. And the same with English as well. Yeah? There's some type of language. Very good, mashallah. Excellent. Okay, so I want to focus on this, the House of Wisdom. Again, the House of Wisdom was established in Baghdad. Yeah? So the House of Wisdom was established in Baghdad. Now, what was it? This is what it was. The House of Wisdom was a large academy, like a large school, yeah, or a large university, which contained an extensive library. What is a library? Anybody? What's a library? Yeah?
Have many books.
Excellent. Yeah. So a library is a place where a building that has many books. A place where many different books are gathered from different subjects and different topics. Yeah. So this was the biggest. It was the largest library in the world at the time. Yeah. The largest library in the world at the time was the House of Wisdom. So it was a school or a university, and it was also a library. It was both. Yeah, a school university as well as being a library. MashaAllah. Yeah, so it was a large library which contained an extensive library. Now, what was special about this? There's something here that I want you to focus on: cross-cultural transmission of knowledge. Yeah. So if you, I don't know if it's in the course, but if you can write it down. Yeah, it is in the course, but yeah. Cross-cultural transmission of knowledge, what does that mean? It means that there were many different people in this university from different places in the world. So they had mathematicians from India. They had writers, like literary writers from China. They had Christians, they had Jews, they had different religions, people from different religions. And all of them came together and they would have munaqasha discussions. And the Muslims took the knowledge from these other people, and anything that was not acceptable by the Quran was taken to the side, and what was acceptable was used like this. Yeah? So this, what happened here in this place was the Muslims would learn from different people. Now there was a number of languages spoken. So can anyone tell me what languages would have been spoken? Can anyone tell me? What languages did they speak in the House of Wisdom? Anybody? What languages do you think would have spoken? Obviously Arabic, but what other languages would they have spoken? Anybody? What languages do you think?
Maybe Latin.
Maybe Latin, good, yeah. Quite possibly Latin, because there are people coming from Europe, yeah. Although not many, just one or two, not that many. But there were some, yeah, you're right. What other languages? Sorry? Chinese, maybe there were people from China, absolutely. Yeah, any others? Huh? Farsi, Persian, very good. Persian was spoken. Greek would also have potentially been spoken as well. So if you look at this here, the Muslims took from Greece, Persia, India and China, and other places as well. So sometimes they would bring in the books and then also the people from that place. Yeah? So this is an example of the open-mindedness of the Muslims, like what Ahmed, I think it's Ahmed, yeah? Ahmed was saying before, that education opens the mind. So this is an example of that. That the Muslims were educated, so they were open-minded and they would take knowledge from different places. They would take knowledge from different, they would try to benefit from wherever place they could find. Yeah? And we see this in this place called the House of Wisdom, the House of Wisdom which was in Baghdad. Okay, what else do we find? We also find libraries and bookshops. So the biggest libraries in the world at the time of the Muslim world. Also the bookshops as well. The idea of the bookshop really came from the Muslims, where you can go and you can buy many different types of books. Yeah? So, we know that the Quran is the foundational book. Yeah, it's the Asr, it's the book of Islam.
The source is all books.
Fantastic, mashallah. Yeah, it's the source of all civilization. Yeah. Why? Because really every other civilization comes from Islam, as we're learning. Exactly. So if you think about it, what's the Asr of Islam? It's the Quran, and that is really the Asr of everything else. Because like you see, there is no education in Europe. There is no civilization in Europe. It's from the Muslims. There is no civilization in all these other places. What happened in China, Greece, India, all these places, is their education was dying down and then the Muslims brought them back. That's why the Prophet ﷺ, he helped every single society. He helped every single society in the world. Okay, very good, yeah? So here we go, mashallah, what Ahmed was saying. The Quran is the basis of every subject in science. In other words, the asl of every subject is the Quran. The asl, the foundation of every single subject we can think about is in the Quran. Alright, I won't get you to do this. Actually, no, I will get you to do this. I want you to write down in English. You have 1 minute. In 1 minute, I want you to write down all of the different subjects that we learn. For example, mathematics. For example, science. For example, history. Write down as many subjects as you can think about. Write down. Yeah. So mathematics is one. History, English, like this. Yeah. Write down all of the different subjects that you can think about. What subjects do we learn about at school? Do we learn about in our studies? Anything, even the Islamic subjects, but you have to write them in English. You can't write them in Arabic, you have to write them in English, yeah? Bismillah. So write as many subjects as you can. Fahimtu? You understand, yeah? I want you to write down as many different subjects as you can, inshallah. I'll give you some time to do this. Inshallah, give me some time. Salim, what did you write?
Geography, art,
Very good.
science, Arabic, English, history, math.
Very good, mashallah, brilliant. Geography, art, yes, some different. Okay, anybody else? Yeah, go on.
Chemistry, physics, biology, physical education,
Mashallah.
art, philosophy, logic, Arabic, English.
Fantastic, very good. Philosophy, logic, and then he's mentioned chemistry, biology, physics, these are the different types of sciences that we have. Okay, very good. Anybody else? One more. Anybody else? Yeah, Bismillah.
It might be similar maybe to English, history, geography, physics, art, biology.
Fantastic. Very, very good. Brilliant. MashaAllah. That's excellent. It shows that you have a good vocabulary already. You have a good range of subjects. Very good. Fantastic. Alright. So let's have a look. These are some of the ones that and many others. These are some of the topics of Islam. Chemistry. You know, the pharmacy. What is can you say pharmacy in Arabic? Sadi. Yeah. So the pharmacy is from the Muslims. The Muslim invention. The first pharmacy in the world, again, is from the Muslims, as we're going to learn about. The idea of a pharmacy, which you see everywhere in the world now, the first pharmacies were established by the Muslims. So they were very strong in chemistry. Biology, zoology. Zoology is the study of animals. Yeah, so zoology here is the study of animals. Yeah. Astronomy, we know about astronomy. Algebra, it's the type of mathematics. Philosophy, falsafa, geography, you know this. Geometry, does anyone know what is geometry? Anyone know what geometry is? Huh? Geography, that's geometry. Geometry. After history is geometry. Anyone know, yeah? Excellent, very good. Yeah, the study of mathematical shapes, lines, angles, this type of thing. Yeah. Okay. Literature, adab, literature, which is called adab, writing, good writing. Art and calligraphy, medicine and epistemology. What is epistemology? It's a long word, this one. Does anyone know epistemology? Epistemology is the study of knowledge. How do we learn? That's epistemology. How do we know what is haq? How do we know what is batil? How do we know what is true? And how do we know what is wrong, what is false? This is epistemology. Yeah, very, very important, epistemology. And again, this was something that some of the many topics that the Muslims excelled in. Yeah, and introduced to the world. You don't need to define. Alright. And now, the final thing here then, all of these texts, all of the books of the Muslims, all of the books of the Muslims were translated into Latin for Europe. So in other words, the Muslims were not stingy. They were not bukhala. They were not stingy. They didn't keep the knowledge to themselves. They gave it to the world. Yeah, they gave it to the world. They weren't stingy. Okay. I think that's the end of it. That's the end of the presentation. All right. What I want to do now, inshallah, is I want us to turn to this book, and I want to get us into groups today. Yeah, and we're going to read in groups, inshallah. We're going to read in groups. So, inshallah, we can stop the live stream now. Right? We can stop the live stream because we're going to do some workshop now. Okay, so we can okay. So what we will do is we will I will read it first, and I want everybody to follow. Yeah, so I will read, I want everybody to follow, and then we will practice reading in groups. Yeah, so we practice reading. Okay, so we are on this page, and we are here, and the civilization. Yes, the first page, the last paragraph. Does everyone know where we are? Yeah. MashaAllah, yes. Anti-civilization. Yeah. So I'm going to read it slowly and clearly. So you listen for your pronunciation and we'll understand inshallah. Okay, is everybody ready? Yeah? Okay. So, and this civilization was driven more than anything by invention. Invention yani ibda', yeah, invention. Its architects designed buildings that defied gravity. Its mathematicians created the algebra and algorithms that would enable the building of computers and the creation of encryption. Its doctors examined the human body and found new cures for disease. Its astronomers, looked into the heavens. Yes, the astronomers looked into the sky, named the stars, and paved the way for space travel and exploration. Its writers created thousands of stories of courage, romance, and magic. Okay, now, class, that's one paragraph. What we will do now is, in your groups,